Lightsabers are pretty epic. Really epic, but we've seen a ton of them. This video, I want to talk about 8 exotic, Disney's words, not mine, lightsabers in the Star Wars canon universe.
You're fulfilling your destiny.
While most lightsabers contain the same technology on the inside, blade emitter, energy lens, superconductor, focusing array, energy cell, and kyber crystal, their outside appearance can greatly vary, and their inside a little bit too. So this video, I want to talk about my picks for 8 of the rarest lightsaber designs. Some lightsaber designs on this list have had as few as 1 user. Also, I'm only including what is canon in Star Wars as of right now. I know there are plenty of awesome rare lightsabers in Legends, but that's another video. However, you'll be happy to know that Disney recently made a few Legends lightsabers canon again. So let's look at 8 of the rare types of canon lightsabers, starting with number 1. The SHOTO. While this lightsaber is rare, it should be familiar because Master Yoda wielded one. This is a more compact version of a lightsaber consisting of a shorter blade. Basically, a miniaturized lightsaber. While it is primarily used as a defensive guard by those that carry 2 lightsabers or who use the twin-bladed techniques, like Ahsoka, it was also used by those of smaller stature who would have great difficulty wielding a full-scale lightsaber. Let's move on to number 2, lightsaber pistol. I wasn't too keen on this one when I first saw it, but honestly, it started to grow on me, kind of like the character that wielded it. So the lightsaber pistol was for the Force user that wanted to keep their lightsaber close, but not put it on display that they had a lightsaber. So super useful after the Jedi Purge when being seen with a lightsaber wasn't a good thing. An added bonus of the lightsaber pistol is you could also use it as a blaster to go pew pew. Ezra Bridger is the first known Force user to use this lightsaber pistol, a design truly unique to him, but again, he was also active as a Force user during the reign of the Empire, so he needed to hide his lightsaber. No Jedi of the Old Order would ever consider building a blaster into their lightsaber handles, so he gets major points for creativity. Downside, the second emitter that allowed the release of the weapon's energy as a projectile that was like a blaster bolt was weakened and not as effective as a traditional blaster. It also became weaker the more it was used in a row. Still a fun design and great way to hide you're carrying a lightsaber, much like the Canon lightsaber. On a similar note, let's talk about number 3, the lightsaber rifle, which I actually absolutely love, even though it's just a rifle with a regular lightsaber in it. So maybe I'm stretching it a bit to include it on this list, but I'm gonna include it anyways, because Disney did, okay? Disney canon includes it. And they tell us what to do now. We first saw the old Jedi librarian in the prequels use it in the comics against Darth Vader. The lightsaber rifle was a type of rifle that worked in conjunction with a standard lightsaber. The lightsaber would be loaded into the open slot on top of the rifle and then be used to fire insanely powerful and destructive beams of energy. While the exact number isn't known, at least 5 shots could be gotten off before the lightsaber that was used as fuel would melt and it would become unusable, and the weapon would start to smoke. What made it fun was after this happened, or before if that's your thing, you could then have it self-destruct activated, which was powerful enough to blow holes in walls. Alright, number 4, guard SHOTO or lightsaber TONFA. These are incredibly rare in the Star Wars universe, and understandably so. In unskilled hands, they can be crazy dangerous. So this lightsaber is attached to a regular lightsaber hilt, but at a 90-degree angle, allowing the blade to be held parallel to the forearm and spun in a complex form of defense and attack. This is especially useful in blocking other lightsabers, but while the perpendicular grip was useful, especially wielding it with the blade pointing back along the wielder's arm to provide better defensive cover and let them get closer to the target, it also made it so they couldn't deliver as powerful attacks. This lightsaber could be gripped by either hilt and used effectively, and was used for a wide variety of slashing, trapping, and jabbing techniques. I think the last time I checked the Wikipedia, they said that this lightsaber was still non-canon, even though Disney released a book that made them canon, so I don't know, check and see if they moved that to the canon section yet. They probably have by now. Also, I'd edit the entry page, but I get nervous about touching other people's shit, so if someone else could, that'd be great. Okay, number 5, a Jedi Temple Guard lightsaber or lightsaber pike. The Jedi Temple Guards were tasked with the security of the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. To fulfill their job, each of them were assigned a Jedi Temple Guard lightsaber. These lightsabers were a variant on the traditional lightsaber. They were thick, double-bladed staves that had 2 rare yellow plasma blades on each side. While most Jedi were personally bonded to their lightsaber, these double-bladed weapons were not and were instead assigned, allowing those on guard duty to be as anonymous as possible. Alright, number 6, Inquisitor lightsaber or double-bladed spinning lightsaber. When I first saw these, I wasn't too impressed, but I grew to enjoy them. Honestly, they look a bit goofy. So the Inquisitor lightsaber was used by, shocker, Inquisitors. The Inquisitors were Force-sensitive Jedi hunters for the Empire after Order 66. They wielded this specially designed lightsaber model that was capable of both single and double blades, while surprisingly staying about the same size as a single emitter lightsaber. And because of the emitters that sit on a rotating outer ring, the blade emitted from the ring could spin at deadly speeds using a frictionless repulsor lift propeller. This gave wielders a better degree of control over their lightsaber and attacks. Also, it could be used to fly. The propeller-esque movement was strong enough to lift the person off the ground to get them somewhere else, which made me laugh the first time I saw it. Come on, that looks a little dumb. Some Inquisitors went a bit further and added a rotating wheel of sharp razor blades. This presented another danger to those they fought and forced them to be even more mindful, or was a sudden surprise that resulted in the loss of fingers or a hand. Whether you find this weapon to be cool or not, it did have some flaws that were exploited by their enemies. Targeting the emitters was a good way to shut the weapon down, as when they were damaged, it affected the lightsaber's ability to function properly. A few Inquisitors were killed after this weakness was found out. As well, someone could cut through the disc from the outside or inside the ring and cause the weapon to fly apart if spinning. Number 7, the dual-phase lightsaber. So the dual-phase lightsaber contains multiple crystals that allows its blade length to be shortened or extended during combat. This quick change could be a huge element of surprise and bring about victory in a fight. And I don't know why, but a blade that long is just so intriguing to me. Maybe it's also the glow on her butt. I don't know. And you probably already know that Darth Vader had a dual-phase lightsaber. Finally, number 8, and honestly probably the rarest lightsaber on this entire list, Darksaber.
It's the Darksaber, a symbol for the leader of House Vizsla, and later the group known as Death Watch.
I didn't know Mandalorians developed a type of lightsaber.
We didn't. This was one of a kind. Legend tells that it was created over 1,000 years ago by Tar Vizsla, the first Mandalorian ever inducted into the Jedi Order. After his passing, the Jedi kept the saber in their temple. That was until members of House Vizsla snuck in and liberated it.
Besides that epic creation story, the Darksaber was different than the traditional lightsaber in many ways. Its black blade was shorter than most lightsabers and shaped like a traditional sword. The hilt was rectangular and had a handguard and a slit-shaped blade emitter. Even the sound that came from the blade was unique. It was much higher pitched than other lightsabers. Not only that, but the blade's current of power was directed by the wielder's actions and thoughts, and would produce an electrical effect in response to an increased emotional state. Perhaps the most interesting thing about the Darksaber was that in fighting against a lightsaber, the weapons would be drawn to each other in a magnetic-like pull. Of course, getting your hands on this one-of-a-kind lightsaber wasn't easy, but of course you would expect that. Mandalorian custom decrees only those that have defeated the previous owner in combat can lay claim to the blade. If someone takes possession of the blade in any other way, their claim is illegitimate. Also, and probably not the greatest fact, this lightsaber was used to kill a lot of Jedi.
This lightsaber was stolen from your Jedi temple by my ancestors during the fall of the Old Republic. Since then, many Jedi have died upon its blade. Prepare yourself to join them.
Now, I debated about adding the Canon lightsaber or crossguard to this list, but I decided against it. But what about you? Would you have included the Canon lightsaber on this list? So let me know which is your favorite lightsaber and which one you would most want to use.
Thanks so much for watching. Please like the video and subscribe for more Star Wars videos.